All right. We are streaming. Got a couple more people climbing on in here. Hello, Jesse. Welcome. So great to have you guys. Hey, beautiful.
Hey,
What's
Jesse.
your kids? Hello, hello. Nice to see you guys. Oh, we have such a beautiful time right now, such a beautiful full moon, so many beautiful things happening right now. It's just awesome. I'm excited to do this webinar today just because there is
So we
really
might go.
so much going on.
Thank you.
So much going on. We have like, as far as a little quick cosmic update for you guys, we have a big month. We're flowing from um, Aries season sort of right into Taurus happening around the 21st or so. And we have um, an eclipse starting right around that new moon as well in a couple weeks. We have Mercury retrograde starting right around that time. We have um, just huge shifts happening. And that can be a little challenging sometimes. You know, it's kind of like hanging on and going for a bit of a ride right now. And I noticed just as I've been coaching people and chatting with people that, yeah, there's a bit of overwhelm, I'd say, and so much like really profound things, like we almost call them ascension symptoms, like things like utter exhaustion and headaches and body pains and some really sort of weird stuff kind of going on. And it can be, that can in itself be sort of overwhelming because you're thinking like, gosh, what is wrong with me? I'm doing, I'm doing all the things, but why am I feeling all the things? And that's almost exactly why we're feeling all the things. It is a major detox. It is a major detox. And hey, welcome, Sarah. Awesome to see you. Um, that is one of the reasons that I actually, I guess it's been 19 days now, I started facilitating a 21-day brain detox. And what that is using Dr. Caroline Leaf made this sort of 63-day brain detox, where for the first 21 days you go through this actual detox where you're sort of focusing on a toxic thought and you're kind of working through it and unleashing sort of all of the muddiness that comes with that. And the following 43 days are all about sort of habit forming. And so I kind of challenged myself to do this so that I was hopping on every day doing a video. And for those of you that aren't in our inner circle or anything like that, I have them for all for free on my YouTube channel right now. It's just Jackie Aiken Magnetic Soul. So feel free to dive on in there and purge and binge on it if you want to. What it is actually sort of creating neuroplasticity, but in a way that is um, kind of like our magnetic mind work, but it's also having to do with the actual science of how and why it works. And so we're creating these new neurons, but we're literally nurturing them for that 21 days so that they have a chance to grow, to form, to start to get enmeshed in the brain and start to really kind of take off. And I really feel like that's kind of helped me with a little bit of clarity for myself, even especially now that we're reaching the 21 days, just the way I'm able to manage emotions so much better. And just like there's those huge up and downs are way less invasive and explosive. And just managing those emotions has been really huge in just in daily life. So it was kind of like cleaning up, it's like cleaning up a messy mind is sort of what we call it. I just let a couple more people in here. Welcome, Ryan. I've got a couple people joining here. Welcome, Samara. Welcome. So awesome to see you guys.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, welcome. Great to have you.
Hello.
Hello
Yo,
there.
everybody mute their mic. Everybody mute their mic.
Oh, that's perfect. I usually end up muting anybody if it's noisy in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
If you have any questions, you guys can.
Oh, hello guys. Nice to meet you guys.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's so great to have you in our space.
Hello.
Awesome. Such a great crew. I love this tonight. Um, I often kind of start out my sessions by just sort of giving us a little bit of a cosmic update, sort of allowing us to explore what's going on in the planets a little bit, in some of this really great. I always say when we know the cosmic updates, when we know what's kind of happening with the planets, it allows us to sort of make sense of why we're all going through this on a collective basis, as well as kind of gives us that umbrella if we want to go out in the rain. It just kind of allows us to know, when it's really good to do things and why it's really good to do those things. And a lot of us, I feel, especially just in my coaching business, I get to sort of see what's happening on a collective level, but out in life, you see a lot of people right now who are really making some changes in their life. They're really shifting things. They're understanding right now that, if things haven't been working, we're kind of tired of feeling that way. We're ready to make shifts. We're ready to make changes. We're ready to kind of move forward. And that's exactly what's sort of happening with the planets right now. We have some really neat things going on. And one of them is this little planet called Chiron that you guys are probably quite familiar with. It is opposing this full moon right now. So it's kind of lit up. And it tends to bring up some stuff from the past. It tends to bring up, for wounded healers, it tends to bring up some stuff like, should I still be doing this? Is this what I meant to be doing? We start to kind of ask ourselves these questions, and it's really profound because when we look at what makes us feel good, when we think about not doing it, it almost like rips out our soul.
I'm about
It's
to
like
come.
I can't. Hello, Frankie. Welcome. It's kind of like we we can't. Whoops, I'm just going to just have to mute you there, Frankie. Perfect. Thank you. Whoops.
Frankie, please keep your mic muted.
Yeah, we got it. Awesome. So when we
Thank you,
look
man.
at what is going
I'm
on
about to come.
with Chiron, I might have to go down here. Sorry. Uh.
Excuse me, Frankie. That is very inappropriate.
We're just gonna remove Frankie for the
Thank you,
night.
man.
Frankie's having
I don't know what was happening, but that was very inappropriate. That was
I don't
very
know.
inappropriate.
I don't know. He's not someone that has been in here before, so we're just
Thank you, ma'am, for doing your job. Thank
my
you so much.
pleasure. Yeah, we're just
Yeah,
gonna
I was like,
leave.
well, where am I?
Hi, Syndra. Welcome. Bit of a Twilight Zone. See, this is like kind of what happens in these these planetary shifts,
Yeah,
right?
these
It's like
gosh darn Zoom bombers.
it does happen. It does happen from time to time. It just makes life a little bit interesting,
Yeah,
doesn't
I know this is an inclusive environment, so I have like a high, wide tolerance for stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay.
it? Me too. I'm probably one of the most tolerant people in the world. I kept trying to mute him and he kept unmuting himself. So we're just gonna let Frankie go do his thing. So cute. So I was gonna say, if you guys have questions, by all means, go ahead and use the chat. I tend to just leave it on, leave people on mute just so that the background noise doesn't get, because sometimes we don't even realize we're on mute and end up chatting away. So, um, yeah, so that little that little Chiron planet that tends to kind of bring up past stuff. I find it a really beautiful thing because what it's doing is it's actually showing us some of the things that we need to see. And that is kind of what this month's energy is all about. It's about noticing those things that are bringing us out of balance. A full moon in Libra really is all about balance. It's all about harmony, it's all about introspection. It's all about enjoying the relationships that you have, making the most out of those relationships, and even maybe seeing where we need to shift or change some of those relationships. In some cases, we can actually,
Did, did, did somebody just fart?
let's just
Yeah, I
leave.
smelled
I heard that
I think
too.
I guess I
Did
don't.
someone just fart?
I think somebody just farted.
That's
Let's
pretty
just,
disgusting.
I am going to throw you guys all on mute here. I thought I had, but we're just going to.
Sorry about that, Miss.
No, not at all. We'll just make sure everybody's on mute so that, if things happen, then it's not distracting to everybody. So when we're talking about
I,
our full moon in Libra,
I'm sorry to disrupt, but
all good, all good. We're just
Jesse, can I get?
We're just gonna leave our mics on mute, guys, if you don't mind. I'm just live streaming to a group as well. Yeah. Or we'll end up just unfortunately having to put you in the waiting room just because it ends up being too disruptive to everybody. So I am just speaking about a quick cosmic update, and then what we're going to do is a meditation where we actually are going to go into a beautiful space and explore some of these things that are in our garden that we are progressing towards, some of these things that we have been really wanting to commit to, some of these things that we've been really wanting to succeed in, some of these things that we've been really wanting to move forward in. And we're going to spend the last probably half of this session in meditation. So
Sorry to interrupt, but Susan, you look very beautiful today. Can I get your phone number?
thanks, John. I think we're going to have to just put you in the waiting room.
No, I'll stop.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So it's an interesting night on Zoom tonight. We are going to talk a little bit more just about what things are going on in the planetary alignments. So when we are feeling some of these ascension symptoms I was talking about, if we're feeling really tired, if we're feeling those headaches, last week I spoke a little bit more about the physical symptoms and where they tend to settle in the body and where we may be really noticing things. But tonight I'm going to focus more on the emotional and the things that can sort of happen if we don't pay attention to some of those ascension symptoms. We may be feeling really tired because we've been going way too hard over the winter. We've been really sort of having our heads down, just really, really focused on certain things and really just kind of overextending ourselves. And so the body may be actually just asking for a little bit of a break time. And right now is a perfect time to sort of stay home, to not be around tons of people, just over these, these next few days, even give yourself a little bit of an opportunity to.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think Carl Weiss is just having a seizure on his camera.
No, I
I
can't.
don't know what's going on there.
Interesting.
Very interesting anecdotes here tonight, Jackie, right?
What's going on, Sarah? Help me.
I don't know.
Just
I
have to
think the
remove
full
them from
moon
the
energy
full
made a lot of
moon
people
energy,
brave.
all right. Yeah, they need to be removed
What's
from the
going on
room.
with the moon?
This is
Yeah.
hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just moving people into the waiting room now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just move them,
My
please.
gosh.
Thank you.
If you guys, I can't see everybody on my screen, so if you guys
Oh, I had to change my view because it was getting really
there we go.
interesting.
Yeah, if you guys see anything, just let me know, and I'll definitely just throw them back in the waiting room.
I'm
It's
paying
too
attention
cute.
to you, Jackie.
It's so great to see
There you go, sister. There you go,
So great to
sister.
see you. I do love me a good full moon. Oh, this is so cute. So you guys may have been noticing some of these, just some of these symptoms that you might have been having. The thing is if we don't pay attention to them, what can happen is the universe will sort of end up taking care of it for you, right? And it'll sort of throw us into a little bit of a spin. And so a lot of people are actually finding that April is already turning out to be a little bit challenging, is actually kind of turning out to be a little bit, I was going to say eccentric, a little bit sort of in your face. And so the reason that a lot of this happens is for us to create balance, right? It's for us to be able to take notice of those things that aren't working for us. It's for us to be able to take a moment and think, is this satisfying to me? Is
I'm the
this
luckiest
good?
man in the room right now. I got the three-way couple, and this bitch rubbed me down with the oil.
Am I?
I called it. I called Ryan. Sorry.
Okay. We're just gonna remove him. Oh my goodness. So funny. So there's some abundance that is, really on the precipice, right? We have this month is kind of like the sprinkling of the new ingredients. May is going to be integration. And then June and July are going to be huge for manifestation, absolutely huge. So we're able to actually embrace this and really move forward with it if we can take that time this month to kind of notice these things. And the full moon energy is all about lighting up those cracks, letting the light in to be able to show us the things that really truly are no longer serving us. Maybe some of those things are things like limiting beliefs. June and July are like huge manifestation months, absolutely huge. Just the way planetary alignments are, cosmic influences. And it's not that the planets design everything that we do, but we're really supported to do certain things. And when that energy is supporting us, it makes it so much easier to just move into it and through it. So what this month is about is to stop fighting that, to stop forcing ourselves to keep doing the things that maybe weren't working out for us so well, maybe to force ourselves to be in relationships that aren't working out so well, maybe to force ourselves to stay in a job that we just know isn't right for us anymore. Like I say, the universe will take care of it for us if we kind of don't do it ourselves. So it can be illuminating, to say the least, to take a few minutes to actually do some meditations and to be able to enjoy that information that's coming into us without fighting it. It's all about the path of least resistance, right? It's all about not forcing things and allowing ourselves to actually pay attention to what is truly working for us, to what is actually in our alignment. I often say that our soul's journey, our soul's purpose is to expand. And when we feel we're very heartened, we're very depressed, or we're very angry, we're in some of those lower vibrational feelings, those lower vibrational emotions, it's often our soul telling us that something isn't in alignment with us. What we tend to do, oh my goodness, this is hilarious. Just give me one quick moment. We're going to move
It's
some
too late to
people.
change it where you have to admit people.
I am, and they were admitted. I have 6 more people in the waiting room, and I don't recognize the names, so we're just gonna keep this to our quaint little group, and we're just going to continue to enjoy. I think I'm going to hope that this still works. So what we need to really pay attention to are those things that aren't feeling good, those things that aren't feeling satisfying to us, to really allow ourselves to have that space to be able to, awesome. That's perfect, Jesse. Thank you. to allow ourselves to have that space, to be cognizant of our balance, to be really cognizant of what is going on around us and how we're feeling. So one true way to know if something isn't in alignment with us is often that it's giving us exhaustion. It's often giving us feelings of just really being unsatisfied. We'll even probably get those messages like, I really don't want to be doing this. It may even be, you know, some people that you normally go and hang out with. You may end up feeling like canceling all the time, or you're just not in resonance with them. So why do we force ourselves to still go there, to still do that, right? This energy this month is all about really paying attention to those warning signals that come up, and to be able to allow us to listen to that and to move forward. Because a lot of times these are the things that aren't allowing us to move forward. We're staying stuck in those old beliefs and those old doings, those old feelings, those old ways of being, because it keeps us safe. And when we move into Taurus energy, which is coming up next month, or I guess on the 21st, absolutely, Central, just literally an exercise to eliminate all this stuff, right? And we're cosmically supported to do this right now, because a lot of times that's a tough thing, to make those changes, to not be everybody's friend, to not have everybody love you, to not, you know, there was a time where I probably would have, a couple of years ago, probably still let some people back in the session, or, you know, maybe thought, oh, I'll give them a second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance. How many chances do we want to give them? Right now, I'm just kind of like, doop. That's just fine. It is just fine. But really, this comes up in so many ways. It comes up in boundaries and self-love. And a lot of us have been on this journey of learning to love ourselves again, learning to put up some of these boundaries, learning to say when enough is enough. And we're cosmically supported right now to be like, no, this is enough. I'm simply not doing this anymore, and not feel so bad about it, not have those limiting beliefs sort of rip us apart when we don't do what we usually do. So it's just a way to, like I say, have that umbrella to go out in the rain, to know that we have this support right now to really allow us to do that. So, you know, it's sometimes staying out of super crowded places, or if there's somewhere where you just really don't feel like going that night, allow yourself to say no and stay home and read a book, or, you know, watch a good movie, or do whatever it is that sort of makes you happy. This month is all about getting into our true authentic self, and even taking off the costumes. You know, if you have to put on a big costume to be able to go out, or to be around certain people, maybe those aren't people that we need to be around anymore. It's kind of about quality versus quantity. Instead of having all the friends in the world, we can just have some friends that really mean a lot to us, that we can really grow from. And being in that energy around those people that we can really grow from right now is going to truly help our souls to expand. We always look at whether it feels like it's going upstream, if it's a happy thing, if it feels good, it feels easy, or does it feel like I'm paddling downstream, like I'm fighting, like I'm, you know, really trying to, yes, new things. Exactly. Just being our true authentic selves. And the people that do truly appreciate that are gonna come around you more. And if they're not, then you can sort of branch out into maybe some new groups. Maybe there's been some invites that you normally wouldn't take that kind of feel exciting and feel good, but maybe something was stopping you before. Maybe it's time to take that dance class, or maybe that go for that healing session, or, you know, even sort of reach out to some people that did always really make you feel good. Has someone been popping into your head lately about, I should give them a call again? That's your soul going, you should give them a call again. But we tend to not listen. There's things that hold us back. Oh, the last time we talked, or, you know, maybe I wasn't in a great space. This is, you've been setting your own timelines, and you're on this timeline now to be seeing the exact things that you're seeing. So this energy sort of enables us to finally be able to tap into the abundance of valuable friendships, the abundance of even financial security. It's all about cleansing, about clearing the clutter, about cleaning up the garden so that we've been sort of planting seeds over the last little while. Now they're germinating to a point where they need a little bit of different care. They may need to be repotted. They may need a little bit less water. They may need even a little more water. What are the seeds that you've been planting needing right now? And when we stop doing all the things, oh, I love that. Went for a Reiki session on today. So good. So good. There's so many things. The social garden needs to be weeded. And this is it, right? Like when I talk to people, they're like, yeah, you know what? That's exactly how I've been feeling. And on a collective level, when we do this healing, it provides this energy out to the collective and it expands and it ripples. And so as a collective, we can actually do this healing together, right? We are literally growing. We are literally healing together. I love that you guys are resonating with this. So there's been a few really cool portals that have happened. We had this angel type portal that was on the 4th of April, 4/4, it's an angel day. So a lot of people were having this ear ringing going on and they're like, what is this? And it's literally something trying to get your attention, something telling you to pay attention. If something feels really good, you were listening to something or being with someone and all of a sudden you get this high pitched sort of frequency in your ears, that's literally your angels kind of going, yes, yes, we've been trying to show you this. We've been trying to tell you this, embrace it, right? There is a big love portal happening. It is April 8th to 12th, pretty much. So just coming up tomorrow. There's this opportunity to meet a soulmate, enjoy a soulmate, be with a soulmate. So like I say, if there are people you've been thinking about getting in touch with, by all means, tomorrow, it's starting already tomorrow, this love portal, they call it. Maybe that's why this is going on. I don't know. I think it's so wild. This love portal, it's like a big opportunity that doesn't come around very often. It's been years since it's been called this love portal again. Oh, I love it. I love it. There's a reason. Agreed to dinner with someone. So exciting. And that carries on until the 12th. Just it's like the doors are opening for love. The doors are opening for not even, it doesn't have to be oh, that is so cool. Taking you to the beach is a surprise. Aww. And this is it. Even if you are with someone, this is an opportunity to put the phone down, to be with them, to, enjoy this relationship that you are in, to enjoy being with the people that you are with, whether it's a friend, whether it is, we have soulmates. A friend of mine who's a cosmic influencer, she says you can have up to 25 you can have 25 soulmates. And a soulmate is simply someone that your soul is connected with that was meant to happen in this lifetime, in this timeline. So open yourself to those opportunities. A lot of times, that is so beautiful, Jesse. A lot of times we don't appreciate the relationships that we do have. And so this gives us some time to be able to actually savor those moments, to actually really be able to enjoy them, because it's all in divine timing, isn't it? Imagine if we had met our soulmate already over the last year or what have you. We say we're not in a relationship and all of a sudden this came to us. Would we have been ready for it? There's a lot of...
Yeah, boy, they got to get that motherfucking erotic cut. Now they want to do a
There
motherfucking
is
birthday, not challenge. They ain't never went
a
against
lot
the
of
body.
things.
Oh.
What the hell is going on?
Isn't that wild? All right. So
What
now I'm
the hell?
starting to report people so that they're taken off altogether. Oh goodness, that was someone who was in here for a while, so that was interesting. Anyways, this is a beautiful time to just be able to kind of manifest what it is that we want. If we are paying attention to the things that make us feel good, if we are staying in allowance, if we are actually receiving, if we are ready to receive. So, literally what this full moon is here to show us is to get out of our heads a little bit, to get out of that ego mind that tells us that we have to stay safe all the time, that we can't try new things, that might be too scary. It allows us to take a moment to just kind of step into our hearts. We're going to clear some stuff out in a meditation right away. We're going to, sorry, just letting someone who should be here in. There we go. And to be able to really allow ourselves to see these fruits and veggies that we're growing and that are ready to kind of come into fruition if we do a little bit of weeding in this garden, a little bit of enlightenment work. And that's the beautiful thing about a full moon. So when in this 21-day detox that I was talking about that I started doing, at the end of it, you can kind of take your journal, whatever it is, you can a piece we're ready to let go of, and it just so happens that we're coming up to the end of the 21 days, and we can do this shorthandedly by taking a piece of paper, writing down some things, kind of doing like a little bit of a full moon ritual in a sense, where we write some things down on a piece of paper that we are just kind of truly ready to let go of, whether it be some of those limiting beliefs, it could be relationships, like I say, it could be anything that's just providing a little bit of instability in your life. Maybe it's even, you know, if you've been feeling really exhausted, maybe it's a matter of actually allowing yourself to rest, but then notice, am I resting too much? Am I perhaps even avoiding things? Do I need to be doing something like, say, moving my body? And then if I'm still exhausted, I can go and rest. Or for some people, I know that even things like overeating, oh, thanks, Leanne. You know, kind of one of my clients said the other night, I'm diving into my pantry at night like a homeless person who's never seen a buffet before. And I'm just like, and I just laughed because I was like, I kind of did that one night too. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I, you know, you kind of forget to eat all day. And then at night you wind up just kind of losing your shit and just, you know, binging and purging. And it's just like, what am I doing? Really taking note of these things. This is where we get to get this control, right? We get to actually control our toxic thoughts. We get to control what's going on rather than allowing it to control us. And we have the ability to be able to control and manage our thoughts. We really do. But we get sort of unconscious about it, and we let that head run the show and not kind of go into our heart and go, do I really need this right now? Or is this really good for me? Right? Like it's funny on the full moon, same thing. Next day, not hungry at all. Cause yeah, we ate everything the day before. Like it's unbelievable how a lot of people are kind of going through the same thing. So just noticing that this is happening in extreme measures right now to really show us where we can gain that control and where we can actually take a few moments to drop out of our heads, literally get back into consciousness, get back into that conscious state, because what's happening is the superconscious, the non-conscious mind where all the memories are pushing things up for us to be able to see, for us to be able to release. And so it's showing us them very predominantly, very profoundly. It's just, are we listening and what are we doing about it, right? So time to, oh, and the other thing too that is kind of happening is this sort of urge to speak the truth. The throat chakras are sort of feeling that need to open up. It's kind of like, we're kind of tired of, like I say before, wearing those costumes. It's kind of like we're ready to sort of tell everybody the truth, and to just know that not everybody's ready for that truth. And we may have to be a little bit gentle in some of the ways that we're saying things. We have to, again, get out of our head and get into our heart. And when we're speaking from the heart, it's almost always received well. It's and it's inevitably happening for everybody right now. You'll see on Facebook and Instagram and stuff that a lot of people are, just kind of going out there and just spilling the tea, like the whole tea. They're really like maybe too much information. This is a good trigger for you too, to, just kind of know what feels good for you. Yes, we are to take off these costumes and be our authentic self, but speaking the truth from our heart is a much gentler way to kind of get our point across, in that we can communicate properly with people without oversharing, because then we just feel bad that we overshared, and then you resonate and ruminate on that all night. Or we can't take it back, because we know that once you put stuff on the internet, it's always kind of out there, isn't it? So we're going to do a little throat chakra clearing. We're going to just allow the full moon's light to come on in and do the cleansing that it is just ready to do. My hands are starting to tingle and buzz here, so I know it's time to get into the meditation. So if you guys are ready, here is where we just get into a comfortable space, whether you're sitting or laying down. I am just going to take you through a guided meditation, and we're just going to enjoy everything that comes up for us in the field tonight, being able to let this full moon light that is ready to illuminate some of those wounds, some of those cracks, and some of those things that we are truly just ready to shift. So I want you guys at first, before we hop into this meditation, as you're starting to get into it, to just start thinking about some of those things that you really do want to create in your life. Some of those things that just feel good to you. Some of those things that make you happy, that bring that higher vibration into your life. Some of those people, some of those things that you'd like to create more of. It may just be more peace, more joy, more love in your life. And that truly is what the energy of April is all about, is always keeping in mind that peace, that love, that joy. And as you have that in your intention, more and more will come that way. We just get to actually allow this to occur, allow this to happen, so that we can really, truly, finally feel more peaceful, more joyful, and more loving on a daily basis. So right now, we're going to start by just taking a few nice deep breaths together. And I'm just going to give you guys a little bioenergy work as we're doing this. And for our breathing, to get into this today, I want you to just breathe in for 4. We're going to hold it for 2, and we're going to breathe out for 7, because this is going to reset our nervous system. This is actually going to reset our neurological systems right into parasympathetic, so we can move out of any fight or flight mode that we were in from all these crazy full moon people hopping on today. We're just going to get into our space. Ooh, this feels good. All right. So I'm just going to guide you guys through a few breaths as we breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to hold it for a count of 1, 2. We're going to breathe out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and again in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 1, 2, and breathe out for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just keep on taking a few nice deep breaths like this. Doesn't matter if you reach exactly 7 seconds or exactly 4 seconds. The key to this is breathing out a little bit longer than you were breathing in. This allows the vagus nerve to open up, allows some of this resetting to happen in your nervous systems. You can do this anytime you're ready to just get into a meditative state, or just take a few moments to breathe, to relax, to respond. And when you're ready, you can just go into cyclical breathing, just rhythmic breathing, however it feels good to you. As we start to imagine ourselves being outside and just looking up at a beautiful full moon. Imagine that full moon energy way above you, much like a spotlight. And I want you to just imagine that light starting to bask and cascade on the top of your head. And I want you to really feel that directed at the top of your head as you start to feel almost like your crown is opening up to this light and allowing this beautiful moonlight to slowly seep in through the body. Just imagine this light starting to bask every cell of the top of your skull, your hair. Imagine what it feels like as that light kisses and touches the top of your head. Imagine that light just moving down as it starts to fill the space in your forehead and your brain and right between the eyes. As it starts to bask through this crown chakra and through your third eye, just letting this light travel all the way down into the pits of your brain, in behind your forehead, filling that whole area with light. And just notice maybe some of the cracks. Maybe you've had some headaches or some sinus pressure or some pressure in your head. Notice that as that light starts to kiss that area, that it's starting to actually dissipate any dense or dark energy. It's starting to move fill any cracks, move any dense energy, like it's almost shifting it. Allow that light to keep dissipating all the way down through your head, down into your nose and your eyes and your cheeks and your face. Just imagine that light caressing, coming down, slowly filling your head from the inside, like it's just literally embracing every single crack and crevice with light. And notice anything that you may see, any memories that pop up, any emotions, any feelings that come through as it starts to move through the head, as it starts to resonate in those cells. Noticing that lack of connection with spirit. Maybe you're feeling all of a sudden like you just want to sit and read a little bit more, or you want to be outside a little bit more, around maybe people that are enlightened, and you're just feeling some of these memories pop up. Notice anything that comes about as this light moves through the head and the third eye. This is going to enable you to see things that maybe you didn't see before. Ways of life, the way you've been seeing yourself. How do you see yourself? What is the self-talk that you have? You can allow that to shift and change with this cosmic energy right now. This is enlightening us. This is showing us what it is that we need to see about ourselves. And we're going to allow this light to move down into that throat chakra. This is just literally recalibrating, balancing, cleaning and clearing out this throat chakra, allowing us to speak our truth, allowing us to speak from our heart, allowing us to separate ourselves from ego mind, from stories, from past hurts, allowing our heart and our throat to work together to open up, to speak kindness to ourselves, to others. This is a way we can see right now some of these things that need to shift and change to truly allow our souls to expand into this true abundance of the next couple of months. And just imagine a beautiful light, that full moon energy, almost like there's a million stars that are being sprinkled down into your throat right now. All of that sun, all of that solar energy, all of that star energy coming down and through your throat right now. Any any past injuries, any past wounds, any times you've been told you couldn't speak, any times that you were told that your words didn't matter, or maybe you even told yourself this. This is an opportunity to let this light come down and heal this right now. And notice the things going on in your body. Sometimes it feels like sand moving through certain vessels. Sometimes it feels like little vibrations in the body. Sometimes people feel they're starting to shake a little bit. This is your body all releasing. There's gurgles, hiccups, yawns. Thing that happens to your body. Energy is this beautiful star and energy. Start to come down into your throat and starting to caress your shoulders, sitting on top of the shoulders, allowing it to move through into your heart. That heart that maybe there's a few cracks right there that the full moon energy is going to enlighten. Is it going to illuminate for you to see right now? This is a powerful full moon. This is one of only 4 in the year that are right around and right in between these huge shifts happening. Allow this energy to just work with you instead of against you. Allow that path of least resistance. Allow your heart to finally be healed in a beautiful way. Just illuminating some of those cracks. You don't even need to know what they are. Just allow that full moon light to come down into your heart, almost like it's resurfacing, like it's pouring this beautiful painted light over top of it, healing it in the most beautiful way. It's ready for this. And feeling almost an emerald green tinge to this beautiful full moonlight as it starts to encompass your whole rib cage, your arms, your shoulders, your elbows, your forearms, right down to your fingers and the space in between them. Allowing this full moon energy to enlighten you. Anything that's happened, anything that took your breath away, any traumas, they've all been lessons in such huge, profound ways. We were just always taught to ignore them, suppress them, push them down. This is a little light that's shining on anything that's safe to be seen right now, and just let any emotions move through. Any feelings in the body just move through right now. This is a perfect opportunity to just allow this healing to happen. And if you noticed yourself that you weren't breathing, take a nice deep breath. And as you breathe out, you can even vocalize a little bit as a allow these things to move through the body that have been illuminated, have been brought up to see, and allow that to move down into our solar plexus, this beautiful window into our soul, this beautiful place where we tuck all of our wishes and all of our desires down deep. And I want you to allow your soul to remember who you are right now, the one without costumes, that true, authentic, kind healer that you are, light worker that you are. And I can feel those ripples all of a sudden starting to come off into the collective. By allowing yourself to be your true, authentic self, you are creating ripples among the collective, among all of us here tonight. Cleansing, clearing, balancing all of our wishes and dreams. And allowing our sacral plexus to just below the belly button start to expand, start to clean, clear, recalibrate. A lot of fears, a lot of traumas, a lot of holding ourselves back, a lot of feeling like we shouldn't, couldn't, won't do it. Procrastination settles in there. Just allowing yourself to let your soul expand, to let your soul truly live out its purpose on this timeline, on this earth. And finally going down into the root, right into your lower pelvis. Relax all those muscles. Relax where you're sitting and feel yourself grounded into your seat. And allow this full moon energy to start moving all the way down through that familial, all of those family stories and patterns and all that past life trauma and past generation trauma. Allow that to just continue moving down and through the legs, letting that light recalibrate, shine into all of the cracks. The legs are often stiff and sore if we're not sure of our path, if we're holding ourselves back, how we're presenting ourselves to the world. Calves and feet can be about work and the path we're on. Notice where your body's been feeling dense and allow this full moon light to start moving all the way through, cleaning and clearing out all those little cracks and illuminating anything that you need to see right now. And I want you to imagine that you're grounding deep down into the earth through your feet, that you're connecting into this new earth. The earth's energy itself has made a shift right now where it's truly allowing, truly pushing us to expand into our soul's journey, into our authentic selves, connecting into that energy and choosing to allow that to happen right now. Feeling that grid, feeling yourself connect, almost like you're plugging in a cell phone, like you're plugging your body deep down into the earth. And any energies, anything that needs to be exchanged can be exchanged through these roots. It can be drawn out, it can be tapped in. That earth's energy is going to feed you with all the correct matrix that you should be allowing yourself to just experience. Tapping into that energy, feeling that buzz in your feet. I want you to imagine that energy starting to prime back up, bringing it into the middle of your body, right above your belly button, where your solar plexus exists. And I want you to imagine that there is a door there. I want you to imagine what that door looks like. It might look kind of ornate. It might look like a metal door. It could look like a big old wooden door. It may look like the old door from your room as a child. I just want you to imagine a door. We're going to go up to that door and we're going to open it. And behind that door is going to be a garden. Now, this is the garden that is deep within you. It's this garden that has been planted. You've planted it before. You've maybe been planting these seeds since the beginning of this year, the beginning of January. You started really sort of thinking about these things that you wanted, these seeds that you wanted to plant. And I want you to feel around in your pocket. You have a seed that hasn't been planted yet, but it's time. It's a seed that you've been ready to plant for a long time. You've been holding off. You haven't been allowing it. You haven't been allowing yourself to plant this seed. There's been something stopping you, whether it was fear, whether it was wounds, whether it was old stories. It doesn't matter, because this seed has magically appeared in your pocket, and you're going to pull it out and you're going to give it some love. You're going to hold it in your hand and you're just going to say, "Oh, I love you. I'm ready for you. I'm ready to plant you." And I want you to just go pick the perfect place in your garden and notice what your garden looks like. This full moon light is illuminating your garden right now so that you can see it in its true, authentic state. Notice what your garden looks like. For every single one of us, it's different. I can see a labyrinth of lush green right now. I can see a chaotic garden with weeds growing all over the place. I want you to notice you have every tool available to you. You have the most beautiful moon water, rainwater that's just been ready to just water this garden with. There's spades and little weed mulchers and big spades and little spades and the perfect tillers that you've always wanted, the perfect tools that you've always wanted. Everything is ready for you in your garden. And I want you to just imagine yourself walking around with this seed, waiting to just find the perfect place, and just start to notice this garden. What kind of colors? What kind of colors are in your garden? Are you finding flowers? Are you finding trees? Are you finding fruit bushes? Are you noticing maybe some strawberry plants, some tomatoes? Does it look like it's more weedy than planty? Just noticing what's around you. Noticing the feel of the wind as you're standing in your garden. Noticing the feel of the sun as it starts to shine down on you, illuminating everything else that you need to see. Just imagining right now what some of those smells would be like in your garden after you've freshly dug in the ground, what that earth smells like, what it feels like in your hands. I want you to find that perfect spot for this new seed. Give it a lot of space. It may need some extra space around it. And take that seed and just plant it in the ground. You know the exact depth that it needs to go under. Sprinkle that dirt on top. Press it down a little bit. Give it that food, that nutrition that you need. Give it that moon water. Allow yourself to water those seeds. And perhaps you may have other seeds in your pocket. Perhaps you're ready to plant a whole bunch of things all at the same time. Perhaps it's time, or perhaps you need to wait. How does that feel to you? Perhaps you have a little more cultivating to do. Maybe there's some weeds that need to be pulled. And I want you to just imagine yourself doing the work that needs to be done in the garden right now. Just imagine what you look like. Imagine who might be there with you. And notice that that garden may actually be a bit of a representation of your mind, how you're seeing it in your head. Could actually be a clear representation of what's going on inside your brain. Perhaps you need to hire a crew to come in. Perhaps you need to do a bit of a detox on the brain, clear up some of that messiness so that the new thoughts can grow. It's all coming about right now, only for you to see, not for you to judge, only for you to see the truth. I want you to take a good look around. Notice the things that stand out to you in this garden. As you are watering this beautiful seed that you found in your pocket, I want you to notice anything else it might need. And I want you to make a commitment to come back into this garden every day, just a little bit. And understand that this seed is actually you. And that by giving it this love, giving it this tenderness, giving it this nutrition, this water, assessing what it needs every day. It might be too wet, and you might not need to water it that day. But make that commitment to yourself to come back in and check on it, to make sure the weeds aren't growing over it, to make sure that you give it that space that it needs to actually grow properly. Perhaps you have the perfect raised bed that you've put it in, so weeds can't even get in there. You took that care to put it somewhere special. Notice how that feels for you. Just take that information that came from inside of your garden. I want you to absorb all that into your heart. Give it a little bit of extra love as you turn around and notice the door that was leading into the garden. And choose to come back outside of that door. You can close the door to keep it safe from predators. You know where everything is in there. You don't want bunnies eating off the top of your carrots. Close that door, keep that garden nice and safe. And I want you at this time in this space to just ask yourself a few questions. I want you to just ask yourself, where have you been holding yourself back from opportunities? In the full moonlight, just ask these questions to be illuminated. How have some of the relationships you've been in, how are they reflecting your own self-worth? Are you staying in relationships? Are you giving too much of yourself still? Are you giving more than feels good? Or are you in relationships where your self-worth is so prevalent that it cannot be denied? Ask yourself for over these next few weeks to really notice these relationships that you're getting into, that you've been in. How is the balance in that? Are you giving more than they are? Are they giving more than you are? How can you adjust that to just create a little bit more balance and joy and peace in your life? Explore that with your work. Have you been giving so much that you're just burnt out? Nobody else seems to give that much. Why are you? And ask yourself, why are you? This is a time to explore our self-worth, to really embrace our self-worth. Nobody is going to put up these boundaries for us. Are there any other areas of your life where maybe you could actually bring in a little bit more positivity, a little bit more peace, a little bit more joy? And to do this, what is something that you could let go of? Maybe it's just negative self-talk. Maybe it's holding yourself back. Take a very nice deep breath and just allow yourself to explore some of these things that you're ready to simply let go of. Perhaps it hasn't been you holding yourself above water by holding onto a stick. Perhaps you've been holding yourself from just flowing down that path of least resistance by hanging on to something from the past. I can just see this analogy of someone just holding themselves up with this stick with just this one leaf on it. It's like they're holding themselves up, holding their heads above water, and that's the feeling. But what they've been doing is holding, if they just let go, if you would just allow yourself to flow down that path of least resistance. And when you're ready, you can just wiggle a toe, wiggle a finger. Come on back. My hands just changed temperature. They were super hot and sweaty, and now they're cold, cold all of a sudden. That's really interesting. So now, oh, I love that. I love that. Go have fun swimming, Jesse. I love it. You guys are amazing. Thank you for sticking around with us through all the chaos. I'm just going to end the Facebook Live here.